JDA, Dijon, and Peristeri.
Last thing, we stay concentrated, stay together, and keep fighting. Let's go.
Ah, deux, trois.
Let's go, fam. Get it.
Let's go, guys. Let's have a good game. Let's go. Ένα, δύο, τρία.
Peristeri.
Well, it is no ordinary game. I mean, it's the game of the week, and it is the game between Dijon and Peristeri, the game that decides which of these two teams moves on to the round of 16 in the Basketball Champions League. They will go the winner into Group I to take on SIG Strasbourg, Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem, and Hapoel Atzmon Holon. So you can see that Hapoel Atzmon Holon dispensed with Igukea with a 2-0 series win, and the winner of this one also goes into Group I. And all bets are off, of course, after Peristeri were able to win Game 2 at home. They did so in an overtime thriller, and led by Sylvain Francisco. Of course, Robin Ducote for Dijon was outstanding, had a season-high 21 points for Dijon, but it wasn't enough, and now Nenad Markovic's team has to come home and try to take care of business here in front of an excited fan base here in coming in from out in the cold into the cauldron. It is going to be hot. You can see the looks of concentration on the faces in the locker room as the players got off the buses, and now as they go through their warm-ups. This is what it is all about, playing in games like this.
Game 3 tonight, do or die. Last week you said you had to prepare your team for a final. How well did the preparation go this past week?
It's a do or die game. Both teams, they want to win. I think we prepare really well for this game, and we are looking forward to perform on the level that we can and that we want.
Last week, your team showed great character. They erased a 13-point deficit, overtime win at home. What do you think will be the key to winning away from home tonight?
I think in this type of games, you know, it's good to make tactics to prepare the team for a basketball game, but it's more important the mental toughness and the heart that you will show in the game.
So Spanoulis has Shakur Justin, Miro Belan, Sylvain Francisco, Giannis Fitros, Dimitris Moraitis, Alexa Radonov, Stelios Poulianitis, Marcus Denman, Leonidas Kasalakis, Dimitris Agrivanas, Nikos Persidis, and Evangelos Zougris to hit the hardwood tonight. And we'll also get a look at Dijon's roster after we hear from their coach, Nenad Markovic, and of course, David Holston, front and center, will be a key in this game. Experienced campaigner Markovic understands so much rides on this game.
What did you take away from last week's Game 2 in Greece for tonight?
Sorry, I didn't hear. From the last game we play or the last game here?
The last game of the series.
I think there was 3 key points in the last game that we play against Peristeri. We get hurt a lot from the turnovers, offensive rebound, and the transition game of Peristeri. So I believe these 3 key points will be also tonight. We need to stop the transition game. We need to protect better our rebound and cut the turnovers as less possible.
For now, each team took their respective home games. How important do you think is the support from the fans in the arena tonight for you?
I think fans are always important. They give a kind of push to the home team always, and I think both games up to now was pretty equalized. In the first game, Peristeri was up. In the end, we won. In the second game, we was up, and in the end, they won. We even had the last shot. So I don't believe it's going to be the crucial, but always it's better to play at home. Psychologically, I think.
So for Dijon, it'll be Marcus McDuffie, Matt Mobley, who only recently joined the team with Chase Simon's injury, Ducote, Jacques Elingue, Holston, Horvat, Ware, Abdoulaye Loom, Evan Gauthier, David Brimbley, and Nathan Vincent. And playing again for Coach Markovic. So it'll be interesting to see. I would expect him to go deep to that bench tonight. Both of these teams, as they try to get to the finish line, at least to the finish line of the play-ins. The pressure, the Basketball Champions League in year 7, and as the competition clearly gets better and better. And again, the play-ins have just brought that playoff atmosphere earlier to the competition, and it really has added a lot, in my opinion. You know, we've had several Game 3 deciders that have been played, some really good games, and the fans certainly have enjoyed themselves. Had the luxury of calling the Ritas Vilnius game last night, and Vilnius was absolutely rocking and rolling, and I would expect the same thing tonight from this crowd here in France. A lot of good players, though, in this Peristeri team. They have had some highs, they've had some lows. Seems like they really did well just to make it into the play-ins, and now that they forced a deciding Game 3, you know they're going to be pumped up for this. So I'm excited, they're excited, you're excited, and we are just minutes away from the start of Game 3. Dijon, well, if Nana Markovic doesn't think it's going to be the determining factor, I'm sure that these players are going to get a big lift from this crowd, which is always, shall we say, supportive, even in those difficult moments here in Dijon. They really do have an affinity for this club, especially the likes of Ware, of David Holston, a guy who maybe not is the biggest player in stature, but certainly has so much to offer, big heart, and a great leader. So McDuffie comes out, leading the way for Dijon. There's Ducote, the youngster who had the 21 points in the last game. You wonder if that was his breakout game. You know, the first game, he didn't really do too much here. There have been moments when it felt like the pressure was building on him. He wants to be successful, and we all know that France produces some of the best players in the world. So it is no mean feat getting into the first team of a club in this country, and these guys want to make the most of it. So Gavin Ware, we saw Gregor Horvat, the Slovenian international. Saw Abdoulaye Loom come out, the big shot-swatting center. Gauthier and Brimbley from Germany. It is all systems go. We are about 3 minutes and 50 seconds away from the opening tip. And for the third time in this play-in series, the two coaches shake hands. Don't forget, this is Spanoulis' first rodeo as coach. He has got the reputation as one of the all-time great players in European history. Now his finding his way as a coach started very well. You know, I thought they started like a house on fire, then they really dipped, and it was a real challenge, I think, for him and for Peristeri. And if they can get a win here tonight, then their season remains alive, and he gets probably his biggest victory as coach of Peristeri. So, of course, the two previous games in the series won at home. What about this refereeing crew tonight? Manuel Manzoni in the middle from Italy, the crew chief, Martin Kozlovskis from Latvia on the left, and Martin Harzov from Bulgaria on the right. All three gentlemen have reffed a lot of big games in the Basketball Champions League and in international competition. There is McDuffie, the pairing that we wanted to look at tonight. You can see what those two guys mean for their respective teams. And of course, Agravanis, a key member of Greece's national team setup, as he tries to now carry that great form that he's had in Peristeri into this decisive Game 3. So Miro Bilan, Sylvain Francisco, Marcus Denman, Leonidas Kasilakis, and Nikos Persidis in the starting five tonight for Peristeri. And Spanoulis is the head coach. We talked about him being such an outstanding player. Of course, he was in that Greece team that upset the United States in the semifinals of the FIBA Basketball World Cup back in 2006. And for Dijon tonight, it's going to be McDuffie, Mobley, Jacques Alingue, David Holston, and David Brimbley in the starting five.
Let's start with the top. Okay? So Matt, Rob. Okay. Good screen, Matt. Full speed. Clear, okay? Be careful. Catch the ball and maybe try to attack opposite. Okay? Use the dribble after. Marquise, full speed and screen. Okay? Now
Well, Peristeri have won just one of their last 6 away games in the Basketball Champions League. They have given up more than 85 points in each of their 4 road games, which is alarming. They've lost their 2 Basketball Champions League trips to France. So they're trying to reverse history, come up and play maybe a little bit stiffer defense. And Sylvain Francisco needs no introduction, of course, one of the stars for Baxi Manresa last year, which made it to the final, or who made it to the final of the Basketball Champions League. He scored 16-plus points in 6 of his 8 games this season, but his low-scoring game came against Dijon. There's a look at that. Dijon been alternating between wins and losses, and look at Holston, 12 points to reach 5th spot in the Basketball Champions League's all-time scoring list. And of course, Deshaun Thomas just ahead of him with 738 points. So Holston coming in with 727 points. And Miro Bilan, who plays for Peristeri, currently tied with Jacob and Brown in 3rd spot with 745 points. So Peristeri won just one of their last 6 away games, as I said, in this competition. And Francisco, looking at that, so many points scored in those games. But again, he only had 9 points at Dijon in the first game. Hello, everybody. The game of the week is underway here in the Basketball Champions League. The play-in, the decider, the Game 3 between Dijon and Peristeri. A battle of France against Greece. And coming right out, Dijon winning the opening tip, wearing the white, attacking to the left. And here comes Francisco, who, by the way, is a France international. And Miro Bilan gets blocked as he goes up. But they're going to credit it. They're going to say goal interference. So the first basket for Miro Bilan, the big Croatian. And again, just mentioning, he's currently tied with Jacob and Brown, 3rd spot, 745 points in the Basketball Champions League during his career. Holston comes out, misses. And Dijon will be anxious to get that first bucket to go down to kind of ease the nerves They lost in overtime last week. They had their chances. And here's Peristeri starting fast, not looking back. Kaselakis. And it's a 5-0 lead for the visitors. Peristeri trying to take the crowd out of it as quickly as they can. Here's a three-pointer, and it doesn't drop. So that's Mobley's first attempt, and here's another chance for Peristeri. Again, bounce pass into the lane, and there's Kaselakis once again. Great start. Couldn't be any better. The question is, how many points will they score before Dijon get a bucket? Mobley steps into one, and it's off the front of the rim. Well, it's a game of runs, and this Peristeri team is off to a 7-0 run here at the start. Bilan turns and loses control, and maybe trying to do a little too much on that occasion. Now, you know, a lot of coaches want you to settle the nerves by going down low and getting that early bucket. And Dijon have put up a few shots from outside. Let's see if they try to attack the basket this time. And McDuffie over to Mobley. Holston feed set and misses another jump shot. Well, it's not how you start, but how you finish, but it is a worrying start. Mobley, and the ball goes out of bounds. Brimley couldn't control it. Just think about everything riding on this game. I mean, you do not want to go out of the competition in a Game 3 defeat. And it's a 40-minute game. But the first 3 minutes have been all Peristeri. Francisco drives in. A little hang time. And the foul has been called on Dijon. So Paul Brimley. Well, as the saying goes, when you get your feet wet, you get in the lane and you attack the rim, good things happen. And the good thing on this occasion is Francisco getting to the line. And the France International makes both. So now it's a 9-0 lead, and I'm pretty sure if we don't get a basket here from Dijon and Peristeri go down, we are going to see a timeout. Mobley. McDuffie. Now they're going to attack the rim. Oh boy, Peristeri did a great job, but going up, getting the offensive rebound and taking it back outside to Holston, and he misses. Alenge, I'm just wondering if Coach Markovic wanted him to go right back up with it after getting the rebound. So a little bit of defensive pressure here, try to ignite the comeback, because a comeback is needed. 9 consecutive points for Peristeri. Trying to spoil the party here in Dijon, where a lot of fans have come out to watch tonight. Bounce pass, and good recovery from McDuffie. Takes it up. Holston doesn't settle, passes, and the basket is good up for Alenge, and the whistle blows. A chance for a three-point play. Jacques Alenge But that was great job by McDuffie and the right decision by Holston not to settle for the jumper, but to drive and dish. So Sylvain Francisco perhaps should have just given up on the shot, but instead puts Alinghe out there, and he misses the free throw badly. It's all about defense for Dijon right now, and Milan goes up and the whistle blows. The foul has been called, and it looks like it's going to be another one on David Brimbley. Nope, the foul's on Alinghe. Well, Mirabalan misses the first. Here is Francisco. And it was the reach by Alinghe in the end that got him the foul. Milan takes his time and makes the second. Mobley goes behind his back. Over to Holston. Dribbles right. And the pass inside is kicked, so they'll put 14 on the shot clock. Alinghe hands it off to Mobley. Mobley to the corner. Brimbley with the drive, puts it up and in. Good finish. Ended up putting it up with his right hand. And had just enough control to get the bucket. And now more concerted effort to get to the rim for Dijon. They pass it around. Kasalakis for three. Boy, he has had an electric start to proceedings tonight. 8 points for Leonidas Kasalakis, but quickly to the other end is Holston. Hold your Holston. Here comes Dijon. Francisco into the paint, passes to Milan, and if he's going to catch it that low to the basket, even though he looks like he didn't even jump, he's going to be awfully hard to stop. And Brimbley picks up his second foul. So Miro Balan misses again with his first attempt. The 33-year-old season high of 18 points against Dijon in the first game. He had 16 in the second game, and clearly represents a problem for Dijon. Gregor Horvat comes in, and Brimbley goes out, having picked up the 2 early fouls. Also, Radonov comes in for Peristeri, the Serbia international. Mobley to McDuffie. And Horvat challenging. Challenging for the rebound. He's going to inbound the basketball. Here goes Holston. Out to the wing. Now Horvat back outside to Holston. Now McDuffie. Well, that was good motion, but did not knock down the shot. Francisco again, down low, and Kasalakis has got 10 points. Provat open for three. He misses, and Alenge knocks it over to Holston. The cold shooting for Dijon here at the start of the game. Holston, though, runs in and bites it in. Well, Kasalakis had 13 in the last game in Greece, and that was his season high, so clearly in good form. Bilan catches it. They battle, and should have had that one. Miro Bilan, when you get it that low, he needs to put that in. Here's Mobley again, over to McDuffie. This time runs off the line, puts it up. Difficult shot, and he is fouled. Demetrius Maridis comes in. Denman takes a seat. And McDuffie takes and makes the shot. Gavin Ware checks in. Now, much like Miro Bilan has been a problem, Gavin Ware can be just as big a problem for Peristeri. Interesting that he comes off the bench. Alenge sits down. His team now trailing by 6 points. Again, Francisco trying to lead the way for Peristeri. There's no doubt he has been a spark for this team all season long. Here he is pulling up for mid-range. And the foul has been called on Dijon. Doesn't look like Gavin Ware is complaining. So the foul actually is on Marcus McDuffie. Fans not liking what they saw on the Jumbotron. Three-point attempt. Oh, are you kidding me? He is on fire. 13 points. Kasalakis. What an X factor he's turned out to be. He has equaled his season high. The pass, and beautiful play. Mobley. Well, Dijon not panicking. They've just been so much better when they've gone to the basket rather than settling for jumpers. Radanoff crosses midcourt. Fans wanted to push. Kasalakis turns it over. So he raised his right arm, kind of pushed off a little bit, and that got him the foul, the charge, or the offensive foul. And tempers boiling over here. So again, they have called a foul on. Oh, they've called the technical foul. Okay. On both Holston, but also it appears they've called one. I thought they had called one on Peristeri. So I think we've got offsetting. They got a technical foul on Holston and a technical foul on Spanoulis. So the drive and the foul and some mock applause by the crowd. So you have to keep an eye on this. Spanoulis is going to have to kind of maintain his calm the rest of the way. He doesn't want to get an early shower. And the problem for Holston as well is that he has picked up a personal foul with that technical foul, albeit it's his first foul. So already in the first quarter, a flashpoint. And McDuffie goes to the line. So quiet you could hear a pin drop. But he makes the first. So they called the foul on Justin, who's just checked in. And McDuffie makes the second. 4 points for McDuffie. Came in averaging 15.4 points per game, 5.6 rebounds. Francisco for three and banks it in. But you know what's coming next. These are not banking hours. Francisco able to make a deposit. Holston. His team back down by 8. Here's Ware. And Ware knows where he's at as he drills the baseline jumper. Rightus. Good sharing of the basketball from Justin. And Radanoff rattles it in, puts up another one. Back up to an 8-point advantage. Entry pass gets away from Ware. So timeout here at the end of the first quarter. It'll be Peristeri basketball. They want to make sure they get a good shot.
Marcus, for Mitchell, okay? On court offense. Look. Press break. 1, 2, 1, 4. Alexa. Suck. Screen. You go. You flash. And after head off. We go in offense. Look. You have the ball. 1. Suck. You are here. 4 here. 2 here. 3 here. Look. You go screen. And at the same time, you take. Suck. You go inside. Screen. And you make fade and screen for Marcus. Last 8 seconds. Stop. You can. 1 pass here for yourself. Second
Prochain match de la JDA Bourgogne Dijon. JDA Bourgogne Dijon.
Well, Francisco, not sure if he called glass there, but he'll take it anyway. It drops. 5 points for him. And the big story has been Kasalakis scoring 13. So about a 2-second differential in the game clock and the shot clock. Francisco. So he'll take it down, I'm guessing, to 8 on the shot clock. Now it's time to go. And they get the jump shot. It's not there, but they've left time if they can pick it up, in fact. And Gregor Horvat couldn't control it. I think he was going to try to pass it over to Ware, but in the end, he just put it up. So shaky start to the game for the home team, JDA Dijon, but Peristeri lead at 24-16 at the end of one. Look at the three-point shooting, 4 of 5 for Peristeri. Dijon 0 for 7. I don't think it's going to stay like that for the rest of the game. Both teams similar at the free throw line. 2 more makes inside the arc for Dijon. Well, how do you account for Kasalakis coming out and starting as well as he did? But he was a one-man wrecking crew. Look at him, whether it's from three-point range, whether it's scoring in the paint. He got it done. And just 2 more points and he'll have his season high. Brimley able to score. Good passing of the basketball. And again, Kasalakis drilling it. Smart play from David Holston. And when the player's hot, you leave him in. So that was Holston again making the right decision. Driving in, putting it off the glass. And Kasalakis, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. And this is Francisco banking in his three-pointer. Gavin Ware with that baseline jumper for his 2 points. Kasalakis 5 of 5 from the floor, 3 of 3 from three-point range. Hey folks, listen to the BCL Buzzer Beater podcast. Recommended enough. So Peristeri leading it by 8. You can get that podcast, by the way, on Spotify, Apple, and SoundCloud. Holston. Ducote is checked in, the foul, and another turnover. Radinoff is back to the basket. Entry pass and the throwdown. But Shakur Justin had stepped out of bounds, so it's not going to count. So a break for Dijon. Here it is again. Look at his right foot. He catches it. Oh, yeah. Good call by the ref. Inside it goes to Ware. And again, Gavin Ware scoring to cut it back to a 6-point deficit. Moraitis splits the defense, drives in, and there for the follow is Justin. Didn't step out of bounds on that one, did he? So many times Peristeri have been able to get just easy putbacks. Horvat's pass intercepted. Moraitis lays it up and misses the layup. Another reprieve for Dijon, riding their luck. Ducote missing from deep. We talked about his huge game last week, 21 points. The dunk down low to Justin. He gets it back out. They end up with a wide open 3, and you can count it. And Moraitis Missed the layup, but made the three-pointer. It's an 11-point advantage. And Nenad Markovic is going to blow a gasket during this timeout.
The guy doesn't set the screens, he just leaves, they pass the ball, they pass out. How we forget everything in one fucking day. Don't fucking understand. The guy's holding the ball. First, you are too far. Second, he anticipates. The guy just leaves, pass, open shot. Don't anticipate too early. Don't pick it up. He goes in between, make layup. Come on. Where is the end to this? Stay close. If you are late, stay fucking high drop. With four, we switch. With him, he can stay high drop, but be aggressive on the ball. Break the screen. We are too far every time. Hey, let's play. Okay, let's play box 5 for Gavin. Box 5. Press break. Press break.
Well, you knew he was going to be hot under the collar, and so he was. Getting his point across, and Peristeri are well prepared. I remember in the pregame questioning, you know, Coach Spanoulis talked about strategy, having enough time to prepare. Did he have a good week of preparation for this game? And his answer was yes, they had. And we have seen it here in the early going. McDuffie, meanwhile, fouled as he goes up, a chance for a three-point play. So Radonov picks up the foul. It just makes it really difficult for yourself when you have that early hole. You add a little bit of pressure. Here's Radonov. Oh, yeah. I mean, Radonov said he went straight up. Now, he had his arm straight up, but his body went into McDuffie. And that's why he got the call against him. It wasn't a horrible foul, but it was definitely a contact. Good defense, Ducote. Or excuse me, Horvat. And the foul has been called on Moraitis. Just textbook defense by Horvat, getting his hands up on defense. Coaches talk about it so many times. Get your hands up. And that's why, because you are going to come up. You're either going to deflect passes or you're going to come up with a steal. Getting it done on both ends of the floor, the Slovenia national team player, Gregor Horvat. A little bit of Luka Doncic is rubbed off on him. Here's the drive and the pass, the turnover. Mobley passes quickly up to Horvat. Look at him go, boy. He has been the spark that Dijon needed in this second quarter. Forcing a timeout now by Peristeri. Gregor Horvat. Look at him hustle. He gets ahead on the break, and there's no stopping him. Beautiful pass. McDuffie's been sensational.
Fucking defense! 1-1! Cancel for shot, C for Jim. Hey, shoulder four, okay? No turnovers! Hey, 1-1, make a foul! This is the final, close to go 1-1. Don't risk in double fist if you go stealing, otherwise fake it back. Let's go.
Dijon.
Well, turnovers are toxic, and they have been tonight for Peristeri. They've given up 8 points off turnovers, off of their 6 turnovers. Meanwhile, Dijon, they've also turned it over 5 times, but have only given up 2 points. To live action out of the timeout after the tongue lashing by Spanulis. Let's see how they turn it over again. Look at the bounce pass up to McDuffie. Flies in, and look at the follow from Mobley. And again, another follow. Ducote gets his first 2 points. And despite the woeful start for Dijon, they trail by just 2 points. Bounce pass, knocked away again for another turnover. Mobley, an unsportsmanlike foul called on Radanoff. Was not playing the ball. So you get the turnover. Yeah, I mean, it's not even the last man back. I mean, there's just no need. I mean, granted, Dijon want to get out and run, but it's just not something that has to be done. So Radanoff is going to come out. And Mobley can tie the basketball game if he makes these 2. Alexei Radanoff, 24 years of age. He's gone out of the game. And Mobley has indeed tied it. Nikos Persidis in the game now for Peristeri. Checks in for Radanoff. Ducote stepped out of bounds. So both teams now stepped out of bounds, making their moves. Ducote, that's usually where it happens, on that out of bounds line, the sideline. Well, this could be Sylvain Francisco time. He's got the ball in his hands. He gives it up to Denman. From the elbow, and Miro Bilan challenged for the rebound, but it was Gavin Ware who came down with it. Provat has been the man that has turned this game around, and yet again he drives in and scores. Boy, what a contribution for him tonight. Look at that, 8 points coming off the bench. The 28-year-old shooting guard. Here's Bilan, back outside it goes. They pass it, Francisco, top of the key, and he puts Peristeri back in front. And that is a tough pass. Right idea, just a little too high. Gavin Ware's a big man, but he's not that tall. Another turnover. They are just out of sync all of a sudden on offense. And look at Horvat run the floor. Terrific finish. Great pass yet again from McDuffie. The steal, McDuffie. 5 steals for Dijon in the quarter. They've been their own worst enemy, really, Peristeri, with their turnovers. And Mirabelan able to get the basketball back. Denman, he misses. And Gavin Ware hands it off to Mobley, who this time takes it all the way, and he draws the foul. Horvat again. Much like Kasalakis has been the X factor for the visitors tonight, Gregor Horvat, despite, I guess, being a veteran, because he's come off the bench tonight, does a lot of the dirty work, but he has really been good. Look at that. Almost coming up with another steal. Peristeri end up attempting a three and missing. From the baseline is good. Ducote. He's an out-and-out shooter, folks. His first two. I was thinking he had a putback earlier, but I guess not. Francisco falls down. So Ducote with the foul, trying to guard the lightning quick Sylvain Francisco. Right enough, comes back in, having sat down after committing the unsportsmanlike. Francisco. Mobley, did he travel, or are they going to call the foul? Yes, they call the foul. So Denman picks up the personal. Boy, the game of basketball can change in a flash, and it has in this game. Remember, Peristeri started out on a tear. Well, I mean, it was really more of a case of Dijon just starting incredibly flat. Peristeri scored 10 of the game's first 12 points. And, well, Kasalakis has just been terrific. He's got a season high 15 points. I'll tell you what, experience counts. And the experience has come to the fore. Kasalakis, not only in the last game, but in this one. Peristeri doing a lot of complaining out there. And Horvat's going to hear the applause. Gavin Ware as well. He hears the applause as he goes out. Biggest lead of the game, 38-34, now 39-34. That was definitely a foul on Bilan. I mean, he lowered his arms. If he just kept his arms straight up, he would not have committed the foul. Alengay picks up the personal with 1:38 to go in the first half. Bilan back outside to Kakasalakas. Here's Francisco. And slow to get up is Horvat. Watch what happens here. And yeah, nothing Radonov did there. That was just Horvat backing up and must have hit him in the wrong spot there as he buckled over. So timeout on the court, JDA Dijon.
Hey, let's play one. Hold L flush. Okay, hold L flush. Matt, you will be here. Okay, Gregor will bring the ball. Okay, Robin, 4, 5. Good stagger screen here. Okay, hand off. Robin and Jacques. Robin and Gregor. Now, Robin go here. Gregor takes the ball and we play this brush screen and try to hold your guy, come up to shoot the ball. Okay? Listen, if the guy jumps like this, Gregor, Jacques, back door and you continue for Matt. Okay?
Hey, we got 4 seconds to draw top four.
We have 4 to give, We have 4 to give,
What the hell is that?
So 1:22 to go in the first half. And while we have a moment, just let me tell you folks, the FIBA Intercontinental Cup is going to be played in Tenerife, February 10th. First semifinal will be between Rio Grande Valley Vipers and Brazil Sao Paulo, the 2022 Basketball Champions League America winners. And in the second semifinal, the host, Lenovo Tenerife, who won the Basketball Champions League last season, they will take on Tunisia's US Monastir, the Basketball Africa League winners in 2022. So big tournament coming up. It's nice to see all the countries come together and those club champions. Here's Ducote missing. And now it goes the other way. Nice spin. Francisco, every time he gets into the lane and goes to the hoop, he either scores or gets fouled. He should do it more often. It's that little bit of hang time that he gets, I think, that ends up drawing the extra attention. Makes him tougher to defend. Francisco made to the final last year with Manresa. Wants to make it back. But if they're going to get to the round of 16, they have got to win this game. The deciding game 3 of the play-in. Ten points now for Sylvain Francisco. Mobley down to Ware. Travels. Watch his feet. Yes, he shuffled his right foot there before he started to dribble. That was his pivot. Beautiful bounce pass. Radonov finishes with the reverse. Kasalakis pulling the strings. If he's not scoring, he's passing. Now the trap. Oh, and the offensive foul. Mobley pushing off. He knew it. 2.3 seconds left. And Dijon have imploded on their last 3 possessions. So just enough time here for Peristeri to make a go-ahead shot. Let's see if they can get one. They're going to get a good look. Look at that. And Denman could not have asked for a better attempt. Looked like it might have gone in, but Dijon went up and knocked it off the rim. Nevertheless, it's Dijon leading at 39-38 over Peristeri at halftime.
Good, okay.
It worked a lot better in the second quarter for your team as compared to the first one. What did you change after the first?
Yeah, we didn't approach the game right in defense. We allowed too many easy points. I think they scored 24 points in the first quarter. That was way too much for the home court. In the second one, we play a lot better in defense, and this has given us easy points in offense, and that's how we're supposed to play.
Thank you very much.
Here's Kasalakis.
Close game here tonight. What do you think your team needs to keep up now that the game is so close to take it home in the end?
I think the key will be our patience in offense. We had patience in the first quarter, but in the second one, we struggled in their pressure. We should fight the rhythm from our defense, but on offense to share the ball and to have the best choice.
Thank you.
Kasalakis with 15 points. Those were the 2 guys really that were the best players for their teams in that first half. The most impactful. Dijon have yet to hit a 3-pointer. Look at that. 6 have been made by Peristeri. Just a really strange game. 16 rebounds to 10. Excuse me, 12. So Dijon with the advantage there. And you see Kasalakis with the game high 15 points, and Francisco has 10. And here's a look back at the first half highlights. Gavin Ware. Maritis missing, but there was Houston with the putback. And Houston here making the pass, which ends up going to the corner, and the 3-point shot for Maritis. McDuffie had a nice first half. 7 points, although it was just 1 of 6, but did some other good things. A couple of assists, 4 rebounds. And Mobley, after a slow start, picked it up a bit, and so did this guy. He came off the bench, Gregor Hrovat, and really led the team. He's got 8 points at the break. Mobley also with 8. And the turnovers really hurt Peristeri in that second quarter. And that was something that Dijon capitalized on. Just one turnover after another. In fact, 14 points of the 39 for Dijon have been scored off of turnovers. See Gregor Horvat all over the place, just bringing the sense of urgency to the team. He talked about the defense. He's 4 of 7 from the floor, 4 of 5 inside the arc. He does have a steal. Well, when you make the game plan, I'm not sure that you're underlining Kazalakis' name as the biggest threat offensively, but that's what turned out tonight. You know, he's the type of player that can come out and help his team in a myriad of ways, and tonight it was with his scoring in that first half. Now, he might not score another point for the rest of the game. I think he probably will. But 15 points from a guy whose season high was 13 just goes to show the type of impact that he has had on the game tonight and this series. Remember, he had 13 points, his season high last week, in the overtime win for Peristeri at home over Dijon, which has forced this third game. And we've been talking about Gregor Horvat. Well, he has 8 points, as does Matt Mobley. So we'll focus on Horvat, though, because his were really impactful. The way he came in, again, off the bench, and it was just almost immediate. It was like flipping the switch. His presence on the floor, just everything began to click for Dijon. So Gregor Horvat, 4 of 7 from the floor, 4 of 5 inside the arc. He also has a couple of rebounds, an assist, and a steal. So we are at halftime. It's JDA Dijon leading at 39-38 over Peristeri in Game 3 of the play-in for the round of 16. We'll be right back before the start of the second half. And we'll also be looking for some interviews from each of these teams after they come out of the locker rooms.
Now they trail by 1. Pauli has got to score. Brilliant rejection. Brilliant by Curry's. He left Ecuador for dead. Pauli had a dunk. Curry's watch it. Pauli's up. I'm in. No, you're not, baby. Brilliant rejection.
And that was the cherry putting him back on top. Right down the lane, he goes up for the dunk. No whistle. And what a finish to the first quarter. Here it is again. Take this. He was getting ready to throw that down, and Miller was all he could do. He still made it difficult on him.
Pocket picked by Jalen Hands. Easy basket. Oh, what do you say? Easy basket. What a dunk. What a dunk.
Riding the storm. Fine Angola getting a handoff. Got it by Trice. Angola down the middle. Go. Oh, baby! İyi akşamlar.
This is to win it. This is to bring it to Lithuania next week. Big shot. Big shot. Jaden Riley has hit a massive 3 with 7.3 seconds to go. Shh, he says to everybody, 50 points to the game.
pour vous renseigner et surtout les anecdotes. local de la Peristeri bwin. Rendez-vous sur JDA Bourgogne Dijon pour réserver vos places.
As the three-pointers seem to not be falling for you tonight, your team attacked the basket a lot more in the second quarter. Is that something that you want to keep up in the second half as well?
Look, we start very bad defensively. Also tactically, we was preparing this pick and pop defense, but we didn't do well. So after we start switching those pick and pops, it looks much better. I think in the beginning we create open shots, we just didn't make them. In other side, Peristeri make all the shots. So they catch this early lead, but after we improve our defense in the second quarter, and things looks much better.
Thank you very much. Coach, your team did very well in the first quarter. Then the game turned around right to Dijon's side. What do you think needs to be better in the second half?
I think we control the game for the most part. We lost our concentration for 3 minutes when we make a lot of turnovers and we allowed layups and easy baskets from Dijon. This is why we are down on the score right now, but I believe if we stick to our plan, we will be fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, this isn't the only game that's going on tonight. Also in action at MHP Riesen-Lewisburg in Germany, it's MHP Riesen leading at 51-39 over Limoges. That also a Game 3 decider. But most of these play-ins, the Game 3s, even the ones that finished 2-0, you know, just excellent games. And I'm sure that the teams that won their groups probably relieved they didn't have to go through this stage of the competition, because it is stressful for all involved. It's fun. And if you come out of this, obviously you come out stronger. But you got to come out of it. That's the question. Can you survive? And both of these teams right now, you'd have to say it is completely up for grabs. Feels like Dijon, over the course of 40 minutes, should have a better chance of winning this game, but they seem to go through spells where they make mistakes, and Peristeri are dangerous. But again, we've talked about some of their struggles on the road in the Basketball Champions League and also in France. So they're trying to change history by getting a big win here tonight.
Same defense, man. Let's run first offense. L5 to try to attack Milan. He has 2 fouls, okay? With Gregor, okay? So Bram, you come from here, okay? Speed, handoff, okay? Walk, wait for the screen, seal, and we make this triangle to pass the ball, okay? Try, okay? Attack him. He has 2 fouls. Okay? Hey, after defense is the key. As soon as we start playing better defense, we catch up. Okay?
Baskets after strong indeed. Allez, mesdames, messieurs, début de la deuxième période, troisième quart-temps.
And the second offense, Let's play motion one. Motion one, okay? Motion one. Also, watch first after screen for David. Seal for the moment. If no, pass, sprint to pick. And show yourself so we can pass the ball around. Attack, hold up, and watch Gavin because Milan goes around, okay? And when he rolls, if Marquis man bump, watch this skip pass, okay? Be ready to make shot. Now it's time to make shot. And think about what we said about Chin 1, okay? About Chin 1, okay? If they stay like this, David open, pass, and give him space.
Allez, applaudissements du public à Bulgarie qui reviennent sur le parquet. Applaudissements.
Well, no Roussel tonight for Dijon, the point guard, but they have, coped pretty well without him. And just as a reminder, it's game 3. The first game finished here in Dijon, January 3rd, 89-80. Dijon won it, and then Peristeri won last week. And also, don't forget to listen to the BCL Buzzer Beater podcast, which is available in all those ways there if you want to get it from Spotify, Apple, and SoundCloud. The BCL Buzzer Beater podcast, and the first episode launched with Dylan and Tyler Ennis and Javen Delorier from Holon on Brotherhood. It's a bi-weekly show coming out. So coming right out, and the first basket goes to Gavin Ware. Kasalakis showing he's human, missing the three-point shot, so could be a different outcome for him in this third quarter. Certainly didn't start the way it did at the beginning of the game. Gavin Ware gets it back now, pass to the cutter, and the basket is good by Brimbley. Francisco spins, turns, they swing it up to the top. Kasalakis, forget what I just said, he nails it. 17 points for Leonidas Kasalakis. Brimbley looking good, it is! Wow! Three-point shot for number 24. His first jumper to fall tonight. His first 2 baskets on drives. Here's Denman, shot clock about to expire. He's got to put it up. And he does get it off just in time. No, he did not get it off in time. So 6-point lead for Dijon as Radonov comes back into the game. Hey folks, I'm not sure if you heard about it, but the Basketball Champions League announced on Monday the creation of the Youth Basketball Champions League for under 18 teams. And it's going to take place in Bursa, Turkey the winner will be crowned on April 15th, rather. It'll tip off on April 11th. So it's going to be an exciting time. You got 10 teams in the Basketball Champions League it's going to be their youth teams. Herzliya, Nymburk, Ostend, Jerusalem, Hapoel Bank Jerusalem, Igukea, Lenovo Tenerife, MHP Riz and Lewisburg, Ritas Vilnius, and UCAM Murcia. So mark that on your calendars, April 11th to April 15th. Here's the reach, and we're going to reset the shot clock to 14. thing the Basketball Champions League has really done well is emphasize the development of youth players, which leads to another point I want to bring up about an article on the Basketball Champions League website. Make sure you read it. A little to and fro from Igor Cherkovich, as well as Dick and Boyd Smith. There's the bucket from Gavin Wares. It goes up to 48-40. Here's Francisco. Get the hands up on defense, and McDuffie almost forcing the turnover. There is, look at him, getting on the ground, Hrovat, and now up to McDuffie. And the lead has been extended to 10 points. And much like Pauk last night, who really gave a good 20 minutes, it feels like right now Peristeri is struggling to start this second half on the road. Pauk, of course, blown out by Rytas Vilnius in Game 3. Big timeout.
We kept the ball on the floor. Why? It's the final. It's the last game of the season. Maybe it's the last game of the season. Fine. We will go back. Shit's up. French offense. Hard down. Miro, set feet, attack the pick and rolls, and after everything is open. Where is your mind? Why you lose your mind? Span, calm down. Allez, let's go, guys.
Well, that's just a bad turnover leading to an easy point. You know, we talked about turnovers and the points off turnovers. Dijon has absolutely dominated that aspect of the game. 16 points off turnovers for them, just 6 points off turnovers. Chase Simon injured, not able to play tonight. A big part of this team. Also, Roussel on the left there. We talked about him not available tonight, but those two guys are every bit a part of this team, even as they sit and watch on the bench. Transmitting good vibes. Radanoff travels. Feels like with Peristeri right now, they need somebody to step up and lead, and Bilan reaches in, forces the turnover. Miro Bilan had a big first quarter. But then has been quiet ever since. But maybe it's now time for him to do a little stirring and shaking and baking. Nene Markovic sounded confident in his remarks at halftime. Denman missing the jump shot. Brimbley, who hit that big three, passes but turns it over. Francisco did a good job of hanging back and getting his hands up to get the steal. Bilan, beautiful pass to Radanoff. Great finish, and the foul as well. What a play. So Francisco comes up with the steal, and Bilan, who earlier had the steal. Look at the pass from the big fella. So a three-point play for Radanoff cuts it back to a 7-point deficit. That was a big sequence. Dijon had a chance to go up by 13, and now the lead is just 7. Now this becomes a big possession for Dijon in light of that. Brimbley, that is a long way out. And can you believe it? He banked it in! And the same spot on the court where Francisco earlier banked one in. Well, Brimbley has been somewhat of an X factor tonight as well. He's been outstanding. Here's Miro Bilan. Another turnover gives the ball back to Dijon. Here's the drive, and the basket is good. Horvat. 12-3 run for Dijon, threatening to take an unassailable grip on this game. Peristeri, dangerous pass. And Horvat almost comes up with the steal, but commits the foul. That was a good one to go for, and that was a terrific catch by Kasalakis. So Radonov goes out. Frustrating night for him. 5-second violation. He's got to get it in. Look at the turnovers in this quarter. 5 in the first 6 minutes. That's just too many as a team for Peristeri. And the dump, and how about that? It was a lob. And Gavin Ware knew what to do with it. 14 points, the biggest lead of the game for Dijon. They are close to delivering a knockout punch here. Agravadis has come in, he misses. Now McDuffie rebounds and runs, gets it up to Horvat. Horvat drives in and scores! Well, he has just been a leader tonight, folks. That is just played with so much heart, so much passion. Gregor Horvat, so much smarts, intelligence. And again, look at Horvat, reaches in, anticipated, behind the back pass, showtime! Goodness me, McDuffie! Gregor Horvat has taken the game over. Oh, Gregor, what a performance. Horvat 12 points, 2 assists, 3 steals, 6 of 7 from 2-point range, and Peristeri in big trouble, trailing by 18.
We allow layups. Make a foul. Set for. Change your forces. You will take the set. Hey, we shot 0 fouls. 0 fouls. Set for. Second offense. Third. Second offense. Third. 5-4. Hey, even if we score, we play double feast.
Francisco saw Horvat come up and just couldn't stop from making the pass. And it just led to this behind the back. And then the dunk from McDuffie. And what Horvat has done tonight is, in those moments where Dijon have really made progress in the game, he has been excellent. He has been the man lighting the torch. Horvat, McDuffie, and Gavin Ware all plus 14 efficiency. And Horvat fouled by Radanoff, unless they called the foul before that against Bilan, who was leaning back, putting up a very awkward shot. He's maybe a little fortunate to get to the line with that attempt. And Lenge just says, I can't believe you called the foul. He wasn't even facing the basket. He was falling backwards. So 4th foul on Lenge. He goes out. It's interesting that he started, and I don't know if Markovic felt like that was a better matchup against Emiro Balan. But the reality is, with Gavin Ware out on the court, they have been a better team tonight. Sometimes it just comes down to matchups. And Beeline makes the first. So you think about Peristeri, you think about the three-point shot, how that can help them get back in the game. But you don't have to take threes. You got to stop turning the basketball over. That has been the bane of their existence tonight. So Beeline's 2 free throws. Cut it back to a 16-point deficit. Peristeri trying to force a turnover. Horvat gets it over just in the nick of time. He gets it to Holston, who isn't going to wait around. He puts it up, but they chase it down. Mobley, he puts it up. Well, I guess they want to go for the jugular, but if you don't make it, it makes it easier for Peristeri. They might just be willing to allow them to take those jump shots. So Beeline again absorbing the contact, getting to the line. He knows how to back his way into position to get to the free throw line. That's for sure. See the numbers tonight. Good free throw shooting for both teams. He only makes 1 of 2, but Denman saves it, and Peristeri somehow, some way, keep the ball. No, they do not. They turn it over in the end. Now they get it back, and no, they do not. The foul has been called on Peristeri. And I think Gregor Horvat helped the referee make that call as he kind of fell over at the end. So 3rd foul, Denman, 15-point lead. The lob, just a little bit out of reach, but here's Brimbley. And the foul call before the shot. Well, when they say it's go time, they really do mean it's go time in Dijon. They don't like to mess around. They like to get their shots up quickly. They want to put the pressure on. Step back for 3. Well, if that had gone on, I just would have stood up and applauded Horvat. Moritas. Mira Beeline. See if he backs his way up again. Back to the basket. Turns, puts it up, and misses the shot this time, and no whistle. Holston. Bumped by Moritas. Well, Nenad Markovic used to be a guard back in the day. Used to play that up-tempo game. And you're seeing it here with Dijon. That was Moritas with the hand checking. Brimbley goes out. Good minutes from him. McDuffie comes back in. Shakur Justin comes back in. Kasalakis goes out. It was not looking good there for a while for Peristeri, and you can see how right now they could somehow just get that deficit down to 10 points or 9, and this could be a different game. They've got to lock down on defense. Here's Radonov playing D out on the perimeter. They get it to Holston for 3, and rebound Justin. Moritas to the corner. Denman. And are they going to count that? No, they aren't. Crowd wanted an unsportsmanlike. But I think Moritas was going for the basketball. Oh, on second thought, maybe not. I think he's going to be in trouble. Yeah. If I'm putting money on this, I say that's an unsportsmanlike. Well, I'm wrong. They say it was not. Could be he was going for the ball, but because the play was so fast. And certainly Moritas says thank you. So the fact that Horvat was dribbling so fast up there, it made it look worse than it was. I don't know. I don't know. Here's Horvat. And going up, and Abdoulaye Loom not able to finish it. So Dijon just leaving that door open a little bit with some missed opportunities. Just think if they'd called you unsportsmanlike, that could have been a huge trip. And look at this. The three-pointer counts, and the foul has been called. And a way back into the game is there for Peristeri. So 2 free throws now for Bilan. McDuffie whistled for the foul. Wow, they could pull back to within 10 points, a 5-point trip down the floor. Bilan has done an excellent job of getting to the free throw line. And makes the first. So they're now 11 of 14 at the line tonight, and Mira Bilan is 7 of 10. So they're now 12 of 15 as a team, and they have given themselves a great shot here. They were on the ropes, but Dijon have not delivered the knockout blow. 6.2 seconds. Holston, he's going to launch it. He gets the layup. What a play. He just read it beautifully, didn't he? He knew how much time he had right before the end, and he goes in for a layup. Just blew past Radonov. Radonov thought he was going to launch the three. You never know, that could end up being a huge play. JDA Dijon lead at 63-51 over Peristeri at the end of three. Still only 2 threes for Dijon. Good free throw shooting from both teams. It was Dijon winning that quarter 24-13. They led by 1 point at halftime. So really, just that 5-point trip down the floor at the end really did help Peristeri, but to give away the easy layup right before the buzzer hurts. Kind of takes some of the shine off of that little burst of points that they had. This is a striking stat here. You know, we've talked about the turnovers and the points off turnovers being to Dijon's advantage, but really now this stat for me is the biggest. Well, there's 2 stats here. 42 points in the paint for Dijon, just 16 for Peristeri. 26 points coming from the bench for Dijon, just 12 for Peristeri. And there is, in my opinion, the player of the game, Gregor Horvat. He's just, he's been locked in tonight. Right now, he has to be locked in on the bench. Fourth quarter action underway. Peristeri getting it to Denman, and he hits the three. Now it's a 9-point game. Justin, Bilan, Maritis, Radonov, and Denman on the court for Peristeri. McDuffie, Mobley, Ducote, Holston, and Ware on the court for Dijon. McDuffie hits a three. Oh, that's big. Just think if he misses that and Peristeri rebound, it can go down and score. I was under the impression maybe they should drive. But McDuffie is a good shooter, and maybe this will be the quarter when they make some three-pointers. They've already made one. 3-point shot. That time rattles out. That was Justin. McDuffie. Oh, looks almost like Kevin Durant out there, doesn't he? Holston missing. Ducote with the rebound. And elects to bring it out. 8.5 minutes remaining. Holston again. Oh, he gets swatted this time. Radonov, fool me once, fool me twice. Don't fool me a third time. He didn't just block it, he blocked it with anger. 4.1 seconds on the shot clock. Ducote. Back to Ware. And you know where that went, right through the hoop. The lead back to 14 points on the game of the week. The decider, Maritis, the ball kicked, goes out of bounds. They're going to put 14 on the shot clock. In the other game, it's Lewisburg, who led by as many as 22 points. MHP, they're up 9 points on Limoges in the fourth quarter. Francisco back in the game. Here's Francisco, steps back for three. So Francisco not getting the shot off in time. Kastelakis also comes back in, replacing Justin. Holston stops on a dime. Ducote. Ware. How about Ware? Boy, he is lethal. Lethal from mid-range. And the lead back to 16. So they've been getting a lot of points in the paint, but in this quarter they've been hitting the jump shots. Francisco scoops one up and draws the foul. Francisco makes the first. Of course, the round of 16 will get underway next week. There'll be 4 games on Tuesday, 4 games on Wednesday. Will we see Dijon or Peristeri in the round of 16? That's the question. Francisco with 12 points. Dijon get it over in time. Now it seems like they're content to take a little bit of time off the clock. Here's Holston. Mobley. And Mobley's pass batted away into the hands of Kastelakis. Miro Bilan turns, goes to work on Ware, decides to give it to Francisco. Back outside to Kastelakis. Or no, that wasn't, excuse me, that was Moraitis. And it's a 11-point difference. So timeout called by Dijon.
Hey guys, we need to bring the ball faster. We need to show up to pass this ball. After, we need to set up quicker and move the ball. We call the ball too much. Okay. The easiest thing is to play head. Okay. Quick pass, 2 ball handlers, move the ball. There's 0 foul. We need to force them to make some foul. Okay. And be aggressive, attack the basket. Here, be careful with the Francisco 51. Don't overstep out like a high drop and everybody cover. Don't give shot to Denmo. Okay. Let's go, let's go.
What do you play? 59. Il faut continuer à être vigilant, à faire attention.
Well, with the 3-point shot, you can get back into a game in a hurry, but you still have to play defense. You got to come up with some steals. Now they did on the last possession. Here to the corner, Ducote picks it up, gets it over to Holston. And it really does feel like this Dijon team has to play fast. They can't be too concerned about the clock. They got to play their game. Ducote for 2, misses. Bilan over to Francisco. Oh, nice handles. Look at him. Kastelakis drives in and he's fouled by McDuffie. Don't look now, but Peristeri coming back. In fact, they called the foul on Horvat. Yeah, they called him, and they have counted it as well. So Horvat trying to commit the foul before he could get into shooting motion. And a huge opportunity here. If Kasselakis makes this, it's an 8-point game, and he does. And that's probably the player of the game right there. Look at that, 20 points in terms of Peristeri, player of the game. 5 points in the second half. He had 15 at halftime. It's an 8-0 run for Peristeri. Now the dump and the dunk. And Gavin Ware stretches it back to 10. Look at that number, 44-18 points in the paint in favor of Dijon. Here's driving in, Denman denied, but McDuffie whistled for the foul. Third foul on Marcus McDuffie. Watch this. Oh, looks like he got him on the arm. He swung his arm down, so that's a good call. Can't blame McDuffie for complaining. Competitive juices are flowing, but any referee is going to make that call. Meanwhile, Denman goes to the line, and Peristeri, they were on the ropes, and Dijon did not step on their throat and end it. And now Peristeri are alive and kicking, trailing by just 8 points. It's a 40-minute game, folks. You got to play all 40 minutes. And now McDuffie and Kasselakis going at it. And Mazzoni and Horozov getting in, trying to break it up. So then Kasselakis and McDuffie, they reach an understanding. Again, the competitive juices are flowing, the stakes are high. And the referees, they just want to take a look at this just to make sure, because McDuffie's complaining like a forearm shiver was thrown at him. And he got if you got the video technology, why not take advantage of it? So Mazzoni and Kozlovskis, look at this. Now it happens earlier than that. Right as they inbound the basketball. Oh, right there, right there. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to call anything. They're just tangled up. Kasselakis is not that kind of player. Kasselakis is just a put the nose to the grindstone, work hard player, and sometimes the game gets physical, and there was nothing untoward there. There's Dijon getting it across midcourt. Again, they don't need to worry about the clock. They need to attack. Holston. Ducote for three. That's off. Missed everything. And Gavin Ware stayed back. And now it starts to get a little bit nervous here for Dijon. If Peristeri go down and score, especially if they hit a three, it is going to be the pressure that Dijon perhaps didn't think that they would face. Look at this. They get it down to 6. They get the layup, the smart play. And suddenly Dijon looking vulnerable. Moritas. First foul given away by Peristeri. .45 remaining. Gavin Ware to now Into the corner, McDuffie. It's a 2 if it goes. Look at Francisco driving in, and 2 free throws. The explosive play of Francisco gets him to the line and stops the clock. Oh boy, Francisco is going to be upset with himself. Francisco makes the second. Holston. Mobley, long rebound, corralled by Peristeri. Maritis brings it up, 4 minutes remaining, plenty of time for Peristeri. Bilan, oh boy, what kind of shot was that? You got to put that on the highlight reel. That was like a little push shot from just inside the stripe. It's a 5-point game. Holston steps back for 3, and all of Dijon breathes a sigh of relief as the lead goes back up to 8. First 3-pointer of the game scored by David Holston. Missed his first 4 attempts. Oh, Francisco confused, turns it over to McDuffie, who hands it off to Horvath. Oh, he gets rejected by Francisco, but McDuffie is there to pick up the mess. And Spinoulis calls timeout. One last roll of the dice for Peristeri. What a block. What a shame for Peristeri. They couldn't get the basketball. Francisco, some great rim protection. He can't stay off the highlight reel, can he?
20 turnovers. 20 turnovers. How to play basketball? Hey, offense, look. One. Two. Go. Set the speed for Kasalaki. That's it. Go. Go here. It's no shot. It's not over Kasalaki. Marcus, second in a row. Go. Second in a row. One shot. You. Nothing happened. Go in the middle. Keep the ball. Second Marcus. Hey. Nothing fixed the play. 3 fouls to beat. 3 fouls. It's time.
Allez, Dijon, tes supporters sont là.
Well, you just got to tip your hat to Francisco. He's like, I'm not going to give up on this. I'm going to go up. But unfortunately for him, there weren't enough Peristeri guys there to get the basketball after he came up with a block, and the lead goes back to 10. Peristeri going to have to hit some shots and maybe gamble a little bit on defense. Francisco and his pass intended for Bilan. He left his feet not knowing if he was going to pass it or what. And you can't do that. Perhaps a youthful mistake. Holston, McDuffie, you cannot count it. The ball came out. That's about as close as a basketball goes to going down only to stay out. It was like it had some type of reverse English on it. Francisco, the pass out to the perimeter, and Maritis. Now that's a 5-point swing. And that shot has given Peristeri hope. And down low. And they just can't stop Dijon. Gavin Ware, 81 points. We talked about Peristeri giving away 85-plus points in their Basketball Champions League games on the road. And here is another. Oh, boy, look at that dunk from McDuffie. Let's have a dunking contest, he says. That one had a little bit of MJ. Peristeri just can't get the stops right now, folks. They get the game of Kasilakis' life tonight. Look at that. He has been practicing that. That is a sweet flush. Look at the dunk. The cradle, rock the baby. So Francisco gets it back to a 10-point game. Again, Francisco hails from France. Oh, he misses! But you know who gets the rebound and put back? Kasilakis. So it's a 3-point trip, and it's an 8-point game. And I think Kasilakis is complaining, saying that he was fouled on the putback. So he's got 22 points. He's 9 of 10 from the floor. 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Radonov chasing the basketball, and the foul has been committed. And again, McDuffie getting into it with, is it Radonov? No surprise with McDuffie. He's had a couple of moments tonight where he has taken exception to Peristeri. So that was Mobley. And then Radonov hustling back. And then McDuffie winding up Radonov. And Radonov probably easily wound up. So Mobley goes to the line. So as he crossed midcourt, he kind of stopped, and Radonov kind of ran into him, or ran past him, fell down. And then he got back in and actually played good defense. And then McDuffie came up and did a good job of getting under his skin. So the lead goes back to 9, and the clock is the enemy now for Peristeri. Batting up to the corner. Francisco for 3. Held his ground. Boy, he makes some crazy threes, doesn't he? That makes it a 6-point game. And again, Peristeri just refusing to go away.
They have 3 fouls now. Hey, first, no turnovers and no 3-point shot. Okay? can switch all pick and rolls, but when they start playing one-on-one, attack on them, push them inside, don't let them step back and shoot. Yes.
No help, just take and go back, no threes.
If they score for 2, it's better than for 3. Okay, first press break. David, these 2 guards here, Marquise, when David is ready to pass, flash, get a ball, but don't dribble. See if these 2 guys go backdoor immediately. Pass, if not, pass to David. Okay? No turnovers. Okay? Secure the game and we play. We waste the time and we attack last 10 seconds. We put Gregor behind. We play pick and roll. If they switch, dive, pass back and go triangle.
Look at Francisco. The ball goes up, then goes high off the backboard, then goes back down. Remember, he banked one in earlier tonight. "17 points, 9 assists for Sylvain Francisco." So the basketball inbounded to Mobley, then he falls out of bounds, but he's pushed by Denman. Four fouls on Denman, and any more fouls for Peristeri, they'll be over the limit. It'll put Dijon on the line. Here it is again. And yeah, you can see why Denman was a little bit aggrieved at that. He was very close to forcing the turnover. This could be a long 54.4 seconds. Boy, just a terrific effort by Denman there. The way this game is being played right now, this thing is not over, so don't go anywhere. McDuffie hands it off to Horvath, gets it back over to Mobley. And now Francisco reaches in and puts Horvath on the line. I don't understand why, unless they didn't mean to foul him. You still got time. You force them to take the shot. They miss it. You get the rebound. But anyway, Horvath now takes his time, and he doesn't look like a man that's bothered by the pressure. 13 points. Now 14. Francisco. If they can hit a three, it'll be a 5-point deficit. They got to hurry. Denman for 3. And Dijon with the basketball as Horvath trying to stay away. Then he passes it up. And Dijon will now take time off the clock. And Radanoff reaches in and commits the foul. And the fans are going to let him hear about it. I think if you go back, if Francisco doesn't commit the foul and they force Dijon to take a shot leading by 6, if they miss it, you get the rebound, you can go the other way and score. So Radanoff now out of the game. Five fouls for Radanoff. Olsen makes 1 of 2, and it's a 9-point lead with 20.5 seconds remaining. 10 points, 10 assists for Holston, double-double. And you know you're good, and you know your effort has been correct, has been right, has been spot on, that you've led the team well when your coach Markovic comes up and gives you a hug. Those don't come cheap. Now they scramble for the basketball, and putting it up and in is Justin. And McDuffie whips it up, and Gavin Ware for 2 more points. And that was the exclamation mark that they needed. Nevertheless, Francisco goes down, gets another 2. Spanoulis comes and shakes the hands of Markovic. All the coaches, Markovic knows all of these guys well. And it's Dijon that move on, and Peristeri's Basketball Champions League season comes to an end. They've had some good moments, Peristeri. It's been great having them in the competition. And ultimately, only one team is going to progress from the play-in. And just felt like Dijon maybe had a little bit too much. '82, JDA Dijon win it over Peristeri. Holston hugging his teammates. Gregor Horvat, who was really the man that lit the touch paper tonight. You need players like Horvat that when the game gets tough, he is brave and courageous and is willing to come in and lead, and that's what he did tonight. So Peristeri leave and just didn't quite have the right, I don't want to say chemistry, but the rhythm. Anyway, here's Miro Belani.
Not book the ticket to the round of 16 tonight. What do you think made the difference in the game?
I mean, nothing to say. I would like to congratulate to Dijon. They play a really good series. Tonight's game was decided by our turnovers. I don't know, we had, 20 plus turnovers. That's it. Congratulations to them.
Thank you.
In fact, it was 19 turnovers, which led to 28 points for Dijon. How about Marcus McDuffie?
Congratulations on the win and booking your ticket to the round of 16. Also, congratulations on an incredible individual performance tonight. What made the difference for Dijon?
I think our defense intensity, we picked it up. We were more locked in. You know, after the first couple minutes, we struggled. We couldn't get a shot. But we kept our intensity on defense, and it helped us win the game.
In the round of 16, you will meet SIG Strasbourg and both Israeli teams. What's your take on that?
We don't know yet. You know, we're gonna do our scouting, we're gonna do our regular stuff, and we're gonna learn about them more. You know, let's go, baby. We're gonna learn about them more, and that's what we're gonna do leading up. So I can't really say much. I know one of the teams, they're in our league, so we're familiar with them. For all the other teams, we gotta figure them out. You know.
Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Yeah, so Strasbourg in there in the French league, obviously, so they know them, and I think Dijon will be a tough out. You know, I look for them to be, but we'll see. I mean, you got Holon, Strasbourg, tough teams. Hey, get those guys on Dancing with the Stars. They've got a chance. So off night shooting from deep for Dijon, but it didn't matter. 31 of 45. A lot of that coming again off of the turnovers. They out-rebounded Peristeri. Look at that, 8 more steals. Some self-inflicted wounds that they ultimately could not recover from, Peristeri. But you got to give credit where it's due. Dijon, from a defensive intensity standpoint, came out and did cause some problems. And I think once, you know, there were moments once they started to attack the basket, that was a turning point in the game for them. They probably shot it better in the fourth quarter, at least at the start of it. And it was really Horvat who ignited the turnaround for this team. Yes, McDuffie led him in scoring and played well. Horvat was the difference. Meanwhile, there's a milk carton walking around on the basketball court as we speak. So the Dijon fans in fine fettle tonight. They know they're going to continue to watch Basketball Champions League games. Their team in the round of 16 after an 89-82 win over Peristeri. Despite trailing 24-16 at the end of the first quarter, they were able to come back and win it, I would suggest, comfortably in the end, although they did make hard work of it in the fourth quarter. So as you look back at some of the highlights, Gavin Ware, you got to remember as well, he really did start to put the ball in the basket from everywhere in that fourth quarter. He ended up with 20 points. So both he and McDuffie each with 20. Horvat with 14, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. McDuffie also had the 3 steals. Mobley had the 3 steals to go with his 9 points. So ultimately, when you come up with 11 steals, that's going to help you win basketball games and survive against teams that maybe depth was a little bit of an issue for this Peristeri team, and perhaps overly reliant on Francisco, who is a great player, but maybe needs a little bit more help out there. David Brimbley, I thought, did very well tonight. He started for Dijon. He finished with 10 points, had a couple rebounds. Holston did what he had to do, 10 points, 10 assists, another double-double for, shall we say, the Basketball Champions League legend. He's going to have legendary status. It just seems like every year he is playing and making plays in this competition. And for Peristeri, 19 for Francisco, 22 for Katsoulakis. You feel for him because he was utterly sensational. 15 of his 22 points coming in the first half. Miro Balan ended up 13 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. And, well, all he wanted to do was give credit to Dijon for those turnovers, or for those forcing those turnovers, or for getting the win, and just said it was down to the turnovers of Peristeri, which were the difference. And they certainly did impact the game. That was McDuffie getting out and showing us his highlight reel dunk, which quite possibly will be on the plays of the week. So 4 games next Tuesday, 4 games next Wednesday, and again 89-82, a 2-1 win in the play-in series for Dijon. They go into Group I. And that is the end for Peristeri. So Hapoel Atzmo Holon also, when they're playing, and they go in as well. So it is all happening in the Basketball Champions League. Well, Dijon had hoped to take care of business last week, and really it looked like they might, but Peristeri had other ideas. They forced the deciding game 3, but then their bugaboo has been playing games on the road and playing games in France. And despite the positive start under Vasilis Spanoulis, it was Dijon which took command, led by Gregor Horvat, the veteran from Slovenia. Thanks.
Les Bourgognais